WEKO, the Mask Gatherer, has a pleasant atmosphere, a world structure and graphic style that will remind you of the Zelda games, and a combat system likely inspired by the Souls-like genre. I played around 2 hours of the beginning of this game, so I have some first impressions and also suggestions that the developers could perhaps implement to fix some of the underwhelming parts until the game launches in approximately 3 weeks. When I started this game, I was positively surprised by the fact that the game is properly working with any of the 3 control options, whether that's mouse and keyboard, Xbox or PlayStation controller. Even some AAA games simply won't bother with displaying the proper controls for PlayStation controllers, and you're pretty much left guessing how Xbox controls translate to the PlayStation controller. The music when starting the game was honestly a banger, and that stretches across the entire demo. So we are off to a good start here. The opening of the game was pretty decent, a quick but interesting introduction to the game's story, and the voice acting of the narrator was very solid. If you think WEKO sounds suspiciously similar to Gekko, that's probably no coincidence, since we play as one. The first area serves as the tutorial. You'll get to know this little robot that's your permanent companion, and along with that, you are of course introduced to the basic controls. You can lock onto targets, roll, and perform jump attacks. We also learn the purpose of our existence. The game is set in a world that was once perfectly harmonious. Every living thing lived peacefully together until 7 deadly sins emerged. These sins were so powerful that they became living beings called allegories. These allegories fought each other for control, causing chaos. Envy, wanting to possess everything, tried to turn all the other sins into masks to control them, but ended up turning himself into a mask too. The masks filled with intense energy and spread across the world, creating many new masks. So that's why we are on a mission to find and collect these masks. Soon we will find the first NPCs that have some side quests for us. Pretty much every NPC has something to say, even if it is just some simple comments or remarks. It helps make the world feel more believable and alive. There's no voice acting, just some occasional expression sounds. There are pretty nice details in the world, and so far it feels worth exploring, since chests are usually located in places where you have to purposely look. However, the only thing I got as rewards from chests was the in-game currency, so I hope there's more diversity later on, and that you can also get some cool items or other things by exploring. As far as combat goes, I'm not impressed right now. It is something we will spend a good chunk of our time with, so there is some stuff that could be improved. I find the hit feedback and general impact feeling to be a bit underwhelming. This perception is probably amplified by the sound effects that seem very basic and with not much character behind them. Running and jump attacks feel a bit sluggish and should feel more dynamic. Something that can help would be if you weren't locked into the animations as soon as you press the button. Many games do this right by allowing the player to still make slight changes to the movement, so we can readjust the direction where we want the attack to land. Take jumping attacks for example. As soon as you press the attack button, you are fully committed to this attack. It would feel less sluggish and more responsive if there was some kind of animation cancelling and air control. There is a slowness to almost everything in the game, whether it's animations or cutscenes that just feel a bit too slowed down, or the general movement of your character. It looks like this is what they went for here, and some players will like this, but I think the game would benefit if they balance this a little bit better and remove some of the slowness. Let me know if this was helpful, and if it was. A like is very much appreciated.
Alright.